over here, turn it on, our enemy can run over and turn it off. Hello YouTube and welcome back to another 3D ROS tutorial. This is the third part in the stealth game series. So last time we created an enemy AI that could run backwards and forwards between points. And the tutorial before that, we made a cube detect when it is in a distraction area and if the distraction is accurate. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how we can transfer the code that we made for the distraction for the cube to our new enemy blueprint. I'm also going to show you how we can play music when the distraction is on, as well as have the enemy walk to the distraction, check it out, turn it off and then walk away. I'm also going to show you a tip to clean up our enemy blueprint, so this might be a long one, so get your popcorn ready and let's start. So to start off with, I'm just going to open the blueprint for our original BP enemy that we had the distraction code in. I'm just going to simply select all of the code that we've got, Ctrl C to copy it, and I'm just going to open up our new enemy AI with our patrol event, and I'm just going to paste it down here. As you can see, we'll have that same code in, but if we compile we're going to get a lot of errors, and that's because in our other one we set up an is overlapping variable. So we're just going to create an is overlapping variable in this one. So I've just set it up here. I'll just delete it again just to show you. So variable is overlapping. I'm just going to make it public and compile. So now I'm just going to drag that in the same as before and just delete the old ones. Okay, some of the other things that we need to set up is the distraction master. So as you can see, this isn't working at the minute. That's because last time we had event begin overlap, which I haven't copied over, so I'm just going to paste that in. I just create a new one, attach that up, compile, and now the only areas we've got left is the set material. Now we're no longer going to set material of the object, we're going to do something else, so that isn't going to matter for now. So I'm just going to delete these, compile and save. Okay, so the logic we want, if we've overlapped with the distraction, so if we're overlapping, yes, so change our variable to yes, we're overlapping. And then if the distraction, so the blueprint that's in the distraction master, if that is on, so we're currently distracting, we want the enemy to investigate. So to do that, I'm just going to create a new event dispatcher called investigate. And now I'm just going to drag that in, and I'm going to drag it in as an event. So investigate event. So when these conditions are true, we want to do the investigate event. So I'm just going to type in investigate event. So now it will call that event. So we're just going to keep this separate to make it clean. So what do we want to do when the enemy investigates this event? Well, we want the enemy to move to it to check it out. So to do that, we're just going to do what we did up here, AI move to, and hit enter. So our pawn again is going to be self, so I'm just going to copy that. So now the destination is going to be the object, so the distraction itself. The problem with doing that is it will not complete the move to if it is the distraction itself, because it will go to the center of this cube and it will either be inside of the cube, which is going to look funky, or it's not going to be able to enter the cube because of the collision. So to do that, I'm just going to create an area where the enemy would stand to turn off. So if there was a radio here, just add it to the front of the radio or whatever object it is. So I'm just going to create a new cube, and I'm just going to call it AI target cube. I'm just going to make it smaller. I'm just going to place it, I don't know, let's just say here. Save. Now I'm just going to turn off the collision, no collision down here. I'm just going to make it hidden in game also. So now we can see it here, the enemy will have to move to this point. So to set that up, so the distraction master, we want to get the enemy area from here, so I'm just going to drag out and type in enemy. Make sure context sensitive is turned off, and we want to get enemy. Looks like we can't find it, so I called it AI target point, sorry. So I'm just going to type in AI target point, AI target cube, we're going to get it, and then our target actor is going to be the cube. However, as you can see, we cannot set a target actor because it is not an actor, so we're just going to get world transform. So we want world location. And then we're just going to plug it into our destination. Compile and save. Now if we play this, we can see if this works. So if I go over and activate it, will the enemy run here? As you can see, it does, but it doesn't run away, it doesn't continue on its path. So we have to set that up next. So to do that, on success, so once it is successfully moved to that area, we want to set is distracting. We want to set that at false. And our target is just going to be the specific distraction master that it overlapped with. And then compile and save that. And then we're also just going to, because we set up an event here earlier for the patrol, we're just going to let it patrol again. So patrol event. Compile and save. Now if we play that and press F, once it gets in the boundaries it'll walk to there and then it'll continue on its patrol path. Pretty simple, huh? So after that there might be a few things we want to do, so we will want to check just to make sure there is no other distraction. So to do that I'm just going to add another branch, and you just put is distraction true or false again. So we get is distraction, set is distraction, get is distraction, and basically we're just getting this again just in case. As you can see though, we have set all is distractions to false. However, if there's two overlapping there might be some conflicts, and we'll further set it up later so this won't cancel all distractions. But for now I'm just going to do this just so we know. So if is distraction is false, just go on its patrol event again. If it's still distracting, we want to investigate. Compile and save, and let's just make sure that hasn't broke our code. So go over, turn it on, and it runs to here. As you can see though, it doesn't run to here until it's got to the other point in its patrol, and we don't want that. We want to be able to break the patrol loop. So to do that we're going to do a stop on overlap. So I'm just going to create a variable called patrol, interrupt. This is going to be the variable to see if it's interrupting the patrol or not. And under stop on overlap, so if patrol is true, so if patrol interrupt is true, it's going to stop the patrol. And when is this going to be true? Well, this is going to be true when it is overlapping the distraction area and it is distracting. So I'm just going to place it in here and set that to true. Now once that is done, so once they've turned off the distraction, we just want to make sure they can patrol again. So we're going to set that to false. Compile and save. Now let's see if we can interrupt their patrol path. So we'll do it as this person's walking up the stairs. As you can see, they quickly turn around and they see what the distraction is. Of course, we'll set up delays later, and you can just do that to your taste now if you would like. But for now, I'm just going to call that piece done. So how do we set up some music for this distraction? Well, I've set in some audio here. For Unreal Engine, I believe it has to be a WAV file, a .wav file. So I've just downloaded some royalty-free music, and we're going to make this play. Just like that. We're just going to make this play once we activate the distraction. So that music is going to become the distraction. Okay, now to set up the audio is pretty simple. I've brought in an audio file here, which is some music, just as a WAV. I'm pretty sure Unreal Engine only supports .wav files, so I've imported it like that. So to get the sound working, I'm just going to go into the distraction blueprint itself. And in the viewport, I'm just going to go add component audio. I'm going to add an audio component. I'm going to compile and save. So this will add this component here. Now next I'm going to set an attenuation radius. That way it falls off the further away you get from it. Now in the future this will best to set up it the same size as the detection ring, or maybe a bit larger if you want to be able to hear it further away. But it makes more sense to keep it as close as possible to this radius. But for now I'm just going to keep it how it is. Just going to compile and save that. Now in the event graph, on event begin play, I'm just going to give us the choice to choose what music or what sound this asset plays. So I'm going to create a new variable and I'm just going to call it audio sound. And then under the variable type I'm just going to select sound base, so just type in sound base and then object reference, the blue one. Compile and save. That way we can set our audio up here. If you make it public you can set it in the editor for each individual instance. And then I'm just going to select our audio track from the drop down as default, compile and save. Now I'm just going to drag it in, we want to get this, and we want to set our audio component to this audio sound. So to do that we want to set the sound of our audio component. So drag off the pin, set sound, and then we're going to set the sound equal to our audio sound variable. Plug that into event begin play, compile and save. So that way it'll set this audio equal to whichever variable we've set. So now to play the sound I'm just going to add some functions. So I've just got is distracting, not distracting, just add an event here. I'm going to drag them in as an event, both of them. So if is distracting we want to play the sound, so type in play. And we're just going to get play. If we drag our audio in and type play we can find it easier. So play this audio, yes, and then stop. Stop that audio when not distracting. Now to get these events to call, I'm just going to go on the third person character and when we set is distraction, so when we turn the distraction on, I'm just going to call the function. So the function we set to turn it on is distracting event. Is distracting event. And then the target is going to be the one we cast to. And then I'm just going to do the same for not distracting event. And again, the target is our distraction actor. Compile and save. Now when we go over to our cube and we press F, the music should play. And now the enemy doesn't turn it off, but when we press F, it does turn it off. So if I go over and press F twice, it turns it off. But when the enemy does it, it does not. And that is because we need to set up in the enemy blueprint. So once they've set distraction off, we just want to call that again. So not distracting. And then again, the target is going to be our distraction actor. So now if we go over here, turn it on, our enemy can run over and turn it off. And we can also turn it off ourselves. So yeah, this concludes this video. In the next video we might be cleaning up some more of our code, and we'll go into some more advanced stealth mechanics, including the enemy being able to spot you and you being able to hide. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you get notified when the next video is out, and I'll see you in the next one.